Hey, everybody out there and Facebook family and friends. It's Dr. Joe here again. And as we always do on Sunday nights, I, um, I'm going to be sharing a story with someone, another transformation. Most of you know, or many of you know, that many years ago, my wife Rhonda and I decided to do a life transformation. And first we did that physically. I lost 123 pounds over an 8-month time period. Rhonda lost 20 pounds over about 2 months. And really everything changed for us, because not just our physical being, but our health changed dramatically, and it completely changed the trajectory of where we were going. And then when we started coaching other people to do the same, we started seeing people's lives change dramatically. And we know that there's a lot of people out there who are looking for that. They're looking for change. Unfortunately, the change that they've experienced lately is not always the kind of change that they want. So the kind of change that we offer people is a change for the better, to be able to thrive more in their health, thrive more in their finances, thrive in their relationships. And so tonight I'm really excited because Jan has been a friend of Rhonda's and mine for some time, and she's a bit younger than us, but very ambitious, gregarious, exciting person. And so she's got an interesting story, like many of us do. We all have our own story. And Jan's is interesting because, like many people, she experienced highs and lows and ups and downs. And she's been doing extremely, extremely well. She's on a great high. She's taking control of things. And I'm not going to go into any more. I'm going to just go ahead and let Jan tell you herself. Jan, why don't you just go ahead and share your story, and I'll pull your picture up for a little bit, and then I'll take it down for a little and maybe put it back up in a few minutes again.
Well, Dr. Joe, thank you so much for that introduction. My gosh, it is just an absolute privilege and honor to share my story. Just seeing you and walking alongside you and Rhonda has been an absolute privilege and blessing in my life. And yeah, so I'll just hop right into it. So goodness gracious. So from a young age, I had trouble with my weight. I mean, I went to food for the good times, for the bad times, for all of the times. And, you know, our whole lives, the parties and everything, we were all filled with carbs and all kinds of different things. And, you know, when I got into high school and middle school, I trained a lot and I was very healthy. But when I got to those college years and I stopped all the sports, that's when this freshman 20 turned into the freshman 40, and it went on from there. And you know, I found myself getting very heavy. So I went into a journey of getting really healthy on my own, working out 6 to 7 days a week, just doing the deal and doing meal prepping and doing all of these things. But before I did all that, I have to tell you, I mean, I was living in a time where I just always was in pain with myself. I didn't like who I was in the mirror. Never felt comfortable in my own skin. And, you know, I just decided to go for it and start getting healthy. And I worked out for, oh my gosh, every single day. It seemed like did all the meals. I ate the same food every single day. I prepped. Oh my gosh, my whole life was around it. It was exhausting. And one day my mom came home and she was just vibrating. She was so excited for life. And I'm coming in sweating and eating my egg whites and just exhausted for being up so early working out. And she had started this new program, and I just brushed it off. I said, "Hey, listen, mom, not interested. You know, it's just another fad you're gonna do." And and it was about, I think about 3 weeks in, and my mom had lost 20 pounds, and she was just so happy. And it wasn't just the weight she lost. I mean, my mom had a glow again. And, now my grandfather saw all this, and he decided to get on the program. And that's when I really paid attention, because my grandfather had been very ill for a very long time. He had diabetes for about, oh gosh, I think he was 25, 30 years at that point. And he started decreasing his insulin. Now I can't, that's results aren't typical, blah, 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 all of those things. I mean, but it was just, in any health way you can, decrease your insulin anyway. But, I just seen how they both became so happy, and they were feeling better. And my mom was just like her when she was younger. She just had so much life in her. And I was like, you know what? I'll check this out. Maybe one day. It still wasn't enough for me. So I got dragged to this convention. My dad had a sit down dinner with me and looked me straight in the eye. And he said, I really think this would be very important if you go. I really think you should go. And I was like, my father has never asked me for anything. So I said, okay, Dad, I'll go. Fine. My mom paid for my ticket and I went. And the first day I was blown away by these amazing individuals who were literally selflessly helping people by their own journey by getting healthy. And I wanted more. They were so happy. They were so excited about life. Their energy was just amazing. And I just wanted more. So I decided to get behind this program. I started coaching the program and helping others through it. And later on, I ended up losing 50 pounds in a very small amount of time. And it was so much more than that. I had a life I'd never had before. And later on, my grandmother got on the program, my uncle got on the program, and his health started transforming in so many ways that I can't even express. But for me, it was finally having that time to feel confident in who I was, but also have that inspiration for others. And, I remember that photo right there on the left. God, I looked at that photo and I was just heartbroken, because I'd realized that I'd really tortured my body. I put myself through a lot. And of course, my two beautiful sisters are tiny. So, but today I am on the program fully, and it has just been absolutely amazing. I feel amazing. I feel excited for life. I feel light. I want to try new things. I want to adventure more. Before, I just wanted to lay in bed, and I wish the mattress would just absorb me sometimes. I just didn't want to go out. And for a long time there, that dress that I had in that photo, I had just purchased that because I didn't have any clothing that fit me anymore. Today, I get to go to the store and buy anything that I want. And ladies, I think you know what that's like. Being able to wear different styles and just having this cheekbones and these different things, and just having the energy to want to go and spend time with my family and my loved ones and dream again and just enjoy life. So I think if there's anything else that you need me to share, would like me to share, Dr. Joe, I think that's all I've got for today.
Well, a couple of things that you kind of alluded to there, Jan. And yeah, I think guys know too what it's like to have to wear the same baggy T-shirt, or the same sweatpants or stretch pants all the time, because when you're very heavy, that's just what you do. And it's almost as if you kind of get to a point where you, at least I did, where I almost thought that really nobody else could see it, even though we kind of know that they can. And I love when you talked about coming to the convention, because you know that community is such a big part of what we do. And yeah. I know, especially throughout these last few months, for people to be able to connect in such a way with other people that are actually supportive of them, instead of just spewing out negative, which so much of that is going on out there. And it's nice to be in a positive environment, around people that are encouraging and that truly want your success, because we know that as much as it's a cliche that when the tide comes in, all the ships rise, it's so true, is that Jim Rohn says it this way. He says, all of us needs each of us, and each of us needs all of us. And I love that, because that's what community is all about. And then the coaching, so important to have a coach there to not just guide you, but to be your accountability partner. And I used to tell my patients when I still had a practice that I could be the Gestapo for them, or I could just be a silent partner and just really help them to be there and be accountable for them. We've got the Habits of Health system, which I know now that I can tell by the way you're so energized that you've embraced that, because so many of us, yes, so many of us, when we're on a diet, we know that there's going to be an end to it. And then we're going to have to face the reality that we might gain the weight back. But our goal when we coach people is not a number on a scale, but rather it's to help them learn to replace bad habits with habits that can empower them to be the dominant force in their life and not just in their health. And like when you talked about your dad and his insulin, it's true that type 2 diabetics, when they start, when they get to a healthy weight, they oftentimes can come off or diminish some of their medications. And I love about our program is that it just happens to be easier to get healthy because it's got such a wonderful structured eating plan. I know when I first looked at this and I was running around like crazy. I had a busy practice, 2 adolescent kids, running the nonprofit organization, active in our church, which was at the time about 17 miles away. And I thought, how in the world am I going to do anything? And then what I found was that, wow, having a structured eating plan was such a dynamic way to embrace getting healthy, because that structured eating plan took out 90% of the thought process. And I know you've experienced that too, Jan. So I don't know, maybe you can just allude to that maybe some of the habits of health that we talk about. I know we've got a life book that's an interactive journal and a guide on really being able to internalize some of these things. And I know that makes such a difference. I know it did with Rhonda and me, and I can tell, you can just tell when people have, like you say, that glow, that there's more to it.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for bringing that around. And I love hearing your story. I mean, it's just incredible what you've done. And yeah, the life book, I mean, this is quick plug. I've been reading it all weekend. I mean, I just absolutely love it. I adore it because it gives me a structured of how and what my triggers are. It's just, I mean, literally, I started thinking about the book and thinking about like what I wanted to touch on, because there's just so much there. It's such a good stuff. And what's so beautiful about it is that it's in such small pieces. You know, we have the opportunity and it gives us just little bite-sized things that we can work on throughout our day, throughout our life, throughout the year. You know, like little things to help me with my sleeping, little things like helping me, like when I went through my life book and really understanding, you know, what I really wanted for my life, because all my life I was focusing on what I didn't want. And in this book, it really helped me to shift my focus into understanding that there is a whole beautiful life out there. And if I choose to stop, challenge, and choose, and really look at the different things that are in front of me, that I can choose a better path. But it wasn't until I sat down and I started using our literature and getting in there, because there was a lot of stuff I didn't even know about Jan. And it really helped me. And it was, what's a beautiful thing too, in the beginning of the book, is what I loved about Dr. A. He's just incredible. I mean, such a selfless man. I mean, him crying up on stage, I swear, he's so funny. I mean, just the heart I love where it says in the book that, you know, it's really not our fault in the beginning because we are put up against so much. I mean, we've got food commercials, we've got all this, the whole grocery store is set up for you for failure. I mean, they literally, it's marketing everywhere with food. And, you know, that's just why it's so difficult. And I just love that because it's like, oh my gosh, it's like I've been fighting this battle and it's not just me fighting it. I'm not fighting this alone anymore. And it brings you in and just kind of like gives you a hug, like a gentle hug. And I really love that. And as I've gone through the book, it's really helped me to embrace myself and embrace what I want to do and dream way bigger, but learning how to do that, you know, because I can go from here to here and be where I'm at and want to be here, but I've got to take steps to get there, right? So this book has really helped me get there. And to go into the structured eating plan really quickly, you know, being able to have my feelings throughout the day. I mean, I can tell when I'm not eating all my feelings because I'm tired, I'm a little grouchy, you know. I mean, just having that balanced nutrition right there, it's so easy. Like sometimes when I'm in the out of the weight loss stage, it gets a little aggravating. It's like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna eat? It was so easy. But you know, now it's like, no, I've had, you know, it taught me how to eat those healthy things, and learning how to incorporate this in my life. And it's not forever. It's being able to transition and through this little baby step. So I'm very grateful for the structure. It has really helped me make this so easy, so simple, and also be able to help others simply and have a lot of fun doing it. So does that answer your question, Dr. Joe?
No, it sure does. And you know what? Every time I hear these stories, I get re-inspired. So thanks for re-inspiring me. And I see you're drinking your water there, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here in just a minute. But in the meantime, what I really want people to understand is that there is a difference between what you want and getting rid of everything that you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
So when people diet in order to lose weight, they're getting rid of the weight. But quite often they're not achieving the health and the habits and the energy and the life that they want. And that's why they gain weight back 85% of the time. So think about that. There's a difference between what you want and getting away from what you don't want. It can be two different things. And sometimes people don't understand that. And I say, well, there's a big difference between, for instance, if I want to sit in this chair, that's completely different than me not wanting to be anywhere else in the room, because I can not be in other areas of the room and still not be in this chair. So our lives are like that. And if you're looking for a way to thrive physically, if you're looking for a community of people that are supportive and truly caring, because we do know that when we all care for each other, things always work better. Then if you're watching this on a friend's page, then just have a conversation with them. Say, hey, you know what? I might be ready. I might not be ready, but tell me what it is that you're doing, because it doesn't hurt to get educated and learn what might help when you are ready. I know when I was first presented with this program, I put it off because I don't know why. Either I just wasn't ready in my brain, or I just thought it wasn't real, that people couldn't really have those kind of results. Yeah. And yet what I found was on the other side of my doubt, and for many people it's on the other side of their fear, what they find is a whole nother world full of color, much like Dorothy found when she got to the other side of the rainbow. So I'm going to encourage you, get with whoever's page you saw this on, and just have that conversation with them. Say, hey, let me just discuss with you what my health goals are and see what you're doing. Because you might find that there's a big world out there, like Jan was saying, that can offer you the opportunity to dream again, because you can be healthy again, you can be thriving again, and just better off emotionally. So have a wonderful Sunday night, everyone. Jan, have an incredible week. I'm sure we'll be talking again at some point during the week. And let's go out there and help get America healthy. God bless you all.